Imagine waking up one day and realizing everyone around you thinks you're cool without you even trying. That's exactly what happened to me. And it all started because I went to the library every single day. But to really understand why such a simple habit made such a big difference, we need to talk about college, machine guns, and a pair of gym shorts. I'm standing alone in front of a closed door, shaking from the cold. It's early morning, but the moon is still strangely, faintly glowing, refusing to fade just yet. But then in the distance, I hear gunshots. Sharp, relentless. It's the sound of a PKM machine gun, fired in quick bursts. But then I look around me, and the people are colder than the weather. No one has batted an eye, as if nothing strange had happened. And that's because there wasn't anything strange. This was just another day in my second year of college. The region our school was in had recently turned into a battleground. Guerrilla warfare between the government and another group was taking place just outside of town. And if that wasn't enough, the government had shut down all internet access. The only places with Wi-Fi were government-funded facilities, and thankfully one of those was nearby, the university's library. But things weren't that simple. Inside the library, the only way to get access was to go to a tiny 10 square meter room and connect your laptop to one of the 6 working Ethernet sockets. 6 sockets for the hundreds of students who needed them. These sockets were rarer than diamond, so if you didn't claim one the moment the library opens, you'd already lost your chance for that day. So I made a choice. Every morning at 7:30 AM, 30 minutes before the doors opened, I'd be there no matter what. Even a 10-minute delay could mean the difference between a productive day and ending up in a free-for-all with 20 other people. Once I got my spot though, it felt worth it. And it wasn't just about doing work in there, I was having fun in that room. It was my safe space. Over time, people started to notice me. They'd see me outside every morning smiling like I didn't have a care in the world, even when everything around us felt so uncertain. But the thing is, showing up every day only made others slightly curious. What actually got people to talk to me were my gym shorts. Here's the thing about shorts. No one wore them on campus. Guys were self-conscious about having skinny legs, so shorts were a no-go. I didn't know this at first because I'm not from around here. And honestly, I couldn't care less. I love shorts. Apparently though, that was enough to make people think, yeah, this guy has something going on for sure. Funny enough, people started approaching me. 3 guys thought I was a crypto millionaire and they were asking me tips and tricks because they saw me looking at a chart once. A cinema student believed I was low-key a big YouTuber when I wasn't even doing YouTube. And one girl even stopped me while I was chilling with my AirPods on to say, even though others think it's weird, you not caring makes me want to try and be myself more. For context, she was talking about me watching anime in the library. You see, the sockets were positioned in such a way that everyone in the room could see your screen once you're connected to one of them. And there I was, watching Edgerunners on full display. By the way, don't watch R-rated shows in the library. It's not the best idea. But that's when it hit me. Everyone was so self-conscious trying to look cool. Meanwhile, I was just being myself, and somehow by doing that, I inspired someone else. That was around the time I started reading about why we like others and how we ourselves can be liked. It turns out people don't judge others by the quality of their ideas, but by the signals they give. A study showed that 82% of our impressions of people are based on the cues they show externally. Specifically, 2 types of cues. Those that signal warmth and competence. Competence cues show how reliable and capable you seem. Warmth is how trustworthy you are. I realized that as long as you're relatively okay in both areas, you can be unapologetically yourself. In my case, people thought I was competent because of the library habit, and I think they saw me as trustworthy because other kids in the library would leave their PCs and stuff with me. Because if they take it when they leave, they automatically lose their spot. But there's one more thing that ties everything together, and it's the most important. There was a guy I knew in high school. Let's call him Jimmy. Jimmy was insanely good with numbers, probably the best in the entire school, and he was pretty good at everything else. He studied a lot and you could tell he was a hard worker. But there was one problem. Jimmy talked down to everyone. He'd openly judge others for their mistakes, mock people for not being quote-unquote serious enough, and dismiss anyone he thought was below his level. Everyone hated Jimmy. Some were jealous, sure, but mostly it was because he was a dickhead. I'll never forget the day while we were learning Ethiopian history when the teacher said this: being right doesn't make you likable, and being better at something doesn't make you better as a person. I'm not entirely sure if it was for Jimmy, but that line stuck with me, because no matter how accomplished you are, judging others only isolates you. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest, hardest working person in the room. If you can't connect with others, you will be miserable. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we are helping when we judge. Maybe we think we're offering advice or guiding others to be better. But unless someone asks you for your feedback or you're being paid to give it, it's rarely your place. Most of the time, unsolicited advice just backfires. The only person worth judging is your past self. Comparing yourself to who you were yesterday can lead to growth. Reflecting on your own mistakes is infinitely more productive than trying to fix other people's problems. If you genuinely want to help someone though, don't tell them what to do. Instead, try asking them one simple question. Are you sure about this? Say it in a curious, non-judgmental tone. Their initial reply doesn't really matter. It's the fact that they'll think about it later when they're alone. That's what makes the difference. It's always surprising how these small things that we do can have the biggest impact. Standing outside the library at 7 AM every day made others appreciate me without that ever being my intention. It was because I was consistent with my beliefs and efforts and treated the few people who talked to me with respect. And until next time, stay safe.